Great, welcome. Good evening, everyone. My name is Matthew Seeley. I'm Assistant Director of Admissions at Hobart and William Smith. Welcome to tonight's session on living on campus at HWS. First, I'd like to take a moment to congratulate you on your admission to Hobart and William Smith. We are very excited and looking forward to welcoming you to our community. Just so you know, we will be recording our session and it will be available on our HWS YouTube channel. We'll have time for questions at the end of the presentation and happy to have you drop them in the chat at any time. I will be monitoring that and we'll leave space at the end as well. So without further ado, I'm especially excited to introduce Jenna Terrell, Director of Housing and Residence Life here at HWS. Jenna is going to be sharing insights about living on campus at HWS. So thank you again so much for joining us. We're really glad that you're here. And now I'll turn it over to Jenna.
Hello, everybody. Good evening if you're on the East Coast over here. And if you are closer to the West Coast, good afternoon. This is always one of my favorite meetings to attend to see all of these prospective students who are considering whether or not HWS is the right fit for you. As Matthew had mentioned, my name is Jenna Terrell. I use she, her pronouns. I am the Director of Housing and Residence Life here at Hobart and William Smith. And for the next few minutes, I am going to walk you through kind of what types of housing we have here on campus, what students can expect from their residential experience, some of the resources that we have. I like to think that I am pretty good at encompassing everything, but if there are questions that I have not answered, please feel free to put them in the chat. We will make sure that no one leaves here without any of their questions answered. I do have a slideshow, so you can pay attention to that and not have to just focus on my face. So I am going to get that going for everybody. Okay, so what does housing look like here at HWS? So at Hobart and William Smith, we actually have over 40 different residential buildings on campus, so we offer something for everyone. We have our traditional residence halls, which is where our new first year students reside, as well as some of our upperclassmen. We have townhouses, fraternity and sorority houses, suite style living, theme houses, which I would love to get into more. So whatever kind of your interest is in terms of housing, we like to think that we have something and a little bit for everybody. Our theme houses is one of our signature events here in Housing and Residence Life at Hobart and William Smith Colleges. These are small to mid-size houses that our sophomores, juniors, and seniors reside in. Each house has its own theme with its own mission and set of values. Those themes are actually suggested by students and selected by students, and the students who live there really engulf themselves in what those themes mean. They participate in events and discussions and community opportunities surrounding those different themes. Some of our current themes that we have across campus include mindful living, Hobart and William Smith Honors and Tradition. We have Muslim life and culture, Jewish life and culture. We have the Creative Arts House. They run the gamut across various identities, interests, and academic bases for our students. And so, as early as your sophomore year, if a theme house is something that's interesting for you, you're welcome to apply to live there. If you want to join a fraternity or a sorority, we have houses for them. We have suite style for groups of friends. Our housing is a huge depth and breadth. All of our first year students, so all of you that are on this call right now, reside in designated residence halls that create a unique community and living experience specifically just for you. So all of our first year students reside together in this chunk of residence halls. So that way everybody on your floor, your roommate, within your building is all going through this transition to HWS together. It is built in study buddies, built in people to go to the dining hall with to learn what the experience is about being a college student. So here on the screen is a list of the different residence halls. If you're looking through our website or on social media, our first year students can expect to be assigned to Durfee Hall, Hershon Hall, Jackson Hall, Potter Hall, Reese Hall, or Sherrill Hall. All of these are fully first year student experiences, and I'll talk a little bit about what some of these amenities are. Durfee Hall is a single gender hall for male identifying students. Hershon Hall is a single gender hall for female identifying students. And then Jackson, Potter, Reese, and Sherrill are all gender spaces broken up either gender by floor or gender by room, depending on which building you're in. So to talk a little bit about some of the amenities that come within our residence halls, here are just a few pictures within some of our spaces. Almost all of our rooms, especially in our first year residence halls, are double occupancy. So you and one other roommate. As you venture into other years, we do have some triple spaces for people, some suites that are made up of doubles and singles, as well as single rooms in some of our different residence halls. We pride ourselves on the residential experience in our liberal arts education here at Hobart and William Smith. So you can plan and anticipate that you will have a roommate. We'll talk a little bit about kind of how you find that roommate. But we love the idea of you being able to come here to college and already have somebody built in our structure to know that you've got someone to rely on, to learn from, and to also have that built-in friend, somebody who is sharing that same experience with you. Each of our residence halls has on-site laundry, so each of the buildings has its own laundry room. Laundry is free for students, so there is no need to carry around quarters or replenish your ID card with any money. It is as many times as you want to do laundry, it is available for you. All of our residence halls for our first year students do have multi-stall single gender bathrooms. So if the building is broken up gender by floor, there is one multi-stall bathroom on that floor for that particular gender. If it is Jackson, Potter, or Reese, there are actually two multi-stall bathrooms on each floor, one for male identifying and one for female identifying. And all of the buildings have at least one single stall, all gender neutral bathroom available for students as well. And all of our residence halls have lounges or study spaces in them. So places where students can come and hang out with each other. They are often equipped with either pool tables or ping pong tables, study tables, couches, TVs. Here's a various different lounge spaces here on this screen. You'll notice in the top right picture is one of our living learning community classrooms. So during the day, it is a classroom where some students may go to take class. You'll see in the picture there's actually a couple of faculty in here having a conversation with a class. And then by nighttime, it transforms itself into a lounge space. Students often will go in there and study together or watch TV together in the evening hours when they're trying to unwind from a long, busy day. The students who are participating in classes here in the classrooms in our residence halls participate in what we call our living learning communities. So you are living on a floor with other students who are in your first year seminar course, and your faculty member actually comes right to your floor to teach. So if you think you're getting away with not going to your first year seminar and you're in an LLC, think again, because your faculty member is there right on your floor. You don't have an excuse. A lot of our students who are in our living learning communities have really found it to be beneficial to really build those connections right away with the other people who live on their floor. And it's pretty cool that your faculty comes and kind of sees where you spend a lot of your time. If you're interested in a living learning community FSEM, one of the things that you will be required to do over the next couple of months is to provide your interest. You'll rank some of your top first year seminar courses so that way our faculty and staff can assign you to your FSEM. You will see on the website, if you look at all of our first year seminar courses, the ones that are LLCs are designated as such. They will let you know that they're part of a living learning community. So if this experience of taking your class right there on your floor is something that really excites you, I recommend paying attention to the living learning community options that are going to be available. So something that we absolutely love about our residential experience is our community assistant staff. For parents and guardians on the call, you may have heard them be called RAs. We call them CAs because their whole goal is to develop community and provide support within our residence halls. They are trained student staff members who reside right along with your student, right there on the floor. They offer peer assistance, develop community, and help keep our campus safe. I train our community assistants to pretty much know that there is no dumb question. If you need help trying to figure out where your first class is, if you need to know the best day at the dining hall, if you need help getting to know other people, you don't know how to do laundry, there are no dumb questions. The CAs are literally offering themselves to provide that sort of support. Our community assistants are also creating programs for you and events so you can connect with each other and so you can connect with campus. Your CA is one of the first people that you will meet on move-in day, and they will be with you every step of the way throughout your college experience. They go through extensive training to provide you with that support. This is one of my favorite pictures here on the bottom side of this screen. This is one of our community assistant programs that they actually learned how to make sushi. And if you look all the way to the right of that picture, the tiny little lady standing next to the tall guy is Mary Gearin. That is our president's wife. She is always looking to participate and provide programming for our students to help us build that community. There's not many places that are as special as HWS where our president and our president's wife literally open their front doors to help support the community that we develop. I'll tell you that specific group of gentlemen and their CA went to the president's house every other week to learn some new sort of cooking. And they brought those ideas back to their residence hall and supported everyone else with them as well. Each residential neighborhood also has a professional staff member who oversees that location and supports and supervises each of the CA staffs. So they are available to provide support anytime, day or night. We have somebody on call from our staff all hours of the day to make sure our students feel supported no matter what time of day it is, no matter what that support might be. So when thinking about applying for housing, if you're really excited to come and you want to get started on all of that, so there is a first year student housing application. It's an opportunity for you to review and sign your housing agreement, to learn the ins and outs of what it means to be a residential student here at HWS. And then there's an application where you get to tell us about yourself. We ask you all sorts of questions about how you plan to utilize your space, what you're looking forward to most on campus. Are you a morning person, a night owl? Do you plan to use your room for studying? Do you plan to use your space for social time? You get to let us know. If you're interested, you can you can kind of request a roommate on our housing portal. So you can do this in a couple of different ways. If you've already met somebody that you have in mind, you can request them to be your roommate. We give you those instructions simply by searching for that other student's name. If you are an athlete, it's very possible that your coach has already started talking to you about prospective roommates. They know you really well from recruiting you to come to campus. They know what it takes to be a student athlete, and they often appreciate you having another athletic roommate, someone to wake up early for your lifts and your morning practices, to keep you accountable for your academics, and to support you both on and off the field. You can also utilize the answers to other students' new student housing applications to find somebody new who might align with you. You know that you're a night owl. You want somebody else who's going to stay up late with you. You know that you are a neat freak and you want to keep your room in a certain way. You can find somebody else who's the same way, search for them, connect with them, and perhaps be roommates together. Or about half of our students choose to go random. And what that means is that we will take the information that you submit on your new student housing application and we will identify a roommate based on those responses. And so that way you get to meet someone brand new when you come to campus. The first year housing application goes live. It'll be available as early as next Monday and is available all the way through the summer. The earlier you submit your new student housing application, the earlier that you can start searching for roommates and making those connections. Are you coming to an admitted student day? Do you have a really great connection with somebody? Make sure you get their name down. And when you have access to the housing portal, go ahead and search for them and we can make you roommates. It's as simple as that. We want you in the driver's seat to be able to identify whatever roommate you are most excited for. Now, I will caveat and let you know that for your first year here on campus, we will assign you a roommate who is of the same gender identity as you. So male identifying with male identifying, female identifying with female identifying. If you are on the gender spectrum, we will reach out to you and talk to you about what type of roommate is most comfortable for you. That is what we do your first year. After your first year, when you are going through the housing selection process, you are in that driver's seat. So we will let you kind of select whichever roommate is most comfortable for you, whoever you've made a connection with, and you're looking forward to that next step of your HWS journey to live with. So as I had mentioned, when you come for your first year, you can anticipate that you're going to be in a double room with another roommate. We do recognize that some students may have disabilities that require additional supports. Things such as access to a kitchen, first floor or elevator access, air conditioning, a single room, you name it, you may have a disability that may require you to have some of those additional supports. There is a non-academic accommodation committee that will review any medical documents that are necessary to review any of those different accommodations that we can provide. And we will make sure that any accommodations that come through that committee are supported in your new student housing assignment. So I want to make sure that you're aware that we do have measures in place to make sure that you're supported no matter what your story, no matter what your journey when you come here to HWS. Now, I know I covered a lot, but I have a feeling that there's also a lot of questions. So, Matthew, I am happy to answer whatever questions may have been popped up.
Sure. And first, thanks so much, Jenna, for giving that overview. You had a lot of wonderful touch points for common questions that come up. There's a couple of them that come in themes, and as I'm reading some of these questions to you, folks can feel free to drop additional questions that come up to you as we're speaking. Couple logistic things for folks that might be wanting to purchase materials and get their rooms all set up. How much detailed information do we give folks ahead of time? For example, if they know where they're going to be at, do we know measurements of things like how big the room is, how big the bed is, so that we know what size sheets to get, and if you got room for an extra curio cabinet or whatever and such like?
So each of our rooms will come with a set of HWS owned furniture for you. So every student will receive a bed with a mattress. When purchasing sheets, I always recommend purchasing the Twin XL so that way it fits any of the beds that we have on campus. You will also receive a desk chair, a dresser, and a closet or wardrobe. So every student will receive those pieces of furniture. So then you get to pack and bring everything that fits within those. We will provide you, so housing assignments will go out in mid-July. And so, as soon as you receive information about your housing assignment, we actually will send you information every week with additional details, news, and information to help you prepare to come to campus. And so, one of those will be some of those common measurements. For example, fun fact, when the beds raise up so you can store things underneath, and it ends up giving you about 2.5 feet of storage. Like I had mentioned, I suggest the Twin XL sheets for the mattress. We'll give you some guesstimate measurements of the desk. We will provide you with those as you prepare. One week, we also will send you a packing list of what we suggest you pack and remind you of some of the things that you should not be bringing to campus to keep our campus safe.
Great. So do all of those beds raise up then, Jenna? Because that was another question a student had.
Yes,
Okay,
all of the beds do have the capability of raising. So you don't need to put bed risers on your list. Our beds will raise. Um, if you would like to on move-in day, you're welcome to raise them yourself. If you want our buildings and grounds team's help, they will happily do so. 2 weeks into the semester, students can also request if they would like their beds bunked. Or perhaps if they would like their beds lofted, lofted being so it is so high up that you can fit your desk underneath. They will help and do that for you starting on the second week of classes.
great. Resting on the topic of beds, no pun intended, if a student is really tall, is there a special accommodation for that in terms of bedding?
So if a student is tall and we're talking 6'3" and above is usually where I start getting it. We will make sure that your student's room is equipped with a twin XL bed and not the regular twin. What we ask is once housing assignments have gone out, you can send an email to housing alerting us that your son or daughter is a very tall individual, And that way we can follow up with B&G, Buildings and Grounds, to put in that request to make sure that when you move in, you have that twin XL bed available for you.
Great. I might bounce here and there because we've gotten lots of questions,
Great.
which is wonderful. Somebody asked, how are the showers set up? I know it must vary by residence.
But yeah, it varies slightly by residence, but ultimately what it is there will be two or three showers in a row available, each with their separate set of curtains and or doors, with hooks on the inside, so students can hook up their towel, their clothes, their shower caddy, whatever that might be.
Okay, great. Just to clarify, somebody had wanted to be sure that there's no suite style living for first years.
There, there are, thank you. Yes, there are some suites for our first year students. Um, what those suites look like is it will be either two or three double rooms with a common space. That common space is not furnished, as it's usually the students will, for example, pull out their desks and use the common space for studying so their rooms can be more social. Or sometimes people will bring a futon, whatever's agreed upon with the suite mates. Those suites are specifically going to be located in Jackson, Potter, and Reese, and then Durfee is where those are located. Um, so on our new student housing application, the last question is an open-ended question where you can share anything that you think is important for us to know. So we often hear from students on that open-ended question, um, I'm a student athlete and I really want to live with another student athlete. Or I'm really looking for the opportunity to reside in a suite. Or sometimes people are worried about things and they want to ask questions. We read every single one of those responses to those open-ended question at the end, and we will accommodate as many of the requests that are in there as possible. I also pride my team on, if we come across an application where we want to have some further conversation, we're happy to give you a call and have that one-on-one conversation to make sure that we provide you with the best experience possible while you're here on campus.
It's great. Um, I'm sure some of this will be in that information that's given closer to arrival point, but additional questions such as, are there restrictions on things folks can bring, such as fridges, microwaves, and any kind of renting a mini fridge or other kinds of things available?
Yes, great question. So the we do have a limit on the size of mini fridges for you to bring, partially because there's only so much space, and like these rooms are spacious, but it's not spacious enough to bring two full-size refrigerators and still feel comfortable. So we ask that refrigerators be 3 cubic feet or smaller. Um, Students, our residence halls, from a fire safety perspective, do not permit you to have personal microwaves in your room. We do provide microwaves in all of our lounge spaces for students to access. However, you can rent either a mini fridge or what is called a micro fridge from a company that we work with. You will receive communication from them over the summer if you would like to consider it. A micro fridge is a refrigerator with a freezer with a microwave on top, but the system is built that when you are using the microwave, the refrigerator turns off to save electricity and voltage. And there's also additional safety mechanisms that should something be smoking in the microwave, it shuts off the entire unit, which is fantastic. Oftentimes, students will talk with their roommates once they learn who their roommates are, and they'll actually discuss and split the cost of a rental fridge for the academic year. What's great, parents that are on the call, those micro fridge units, if you rent it, get delivered before you move in, so it'll already be in your room. So if your child is living up on the fourth floor, renting a micro fridge is one less thing that you have to carry up to the fourth floor.
Great. You touched on this, but just to emphasize, do athletes live in a specific hall or residence, or is that depending on the team and the coach, and how does that work?
So our student athletes live across our entire campus. And so when thinking about the first year residence halls that I listed, we have athletes living in every single one. Um, the focus is more about on the roommate for the athlete. So your coach may have already started to share with you some of those suggestions for a roommate for that connection. But you aren't guaranteed to be living on the same floor as other teammates. We spread them out, remembering that some of our FSEMs are those living learning communities. And so some of our athletes live in those living learning communities, and the rest of their team lives elsewhere.
Great. Um, some are asking and are excited to know what's the date that you would move in for those that are planning to enroll at HWS?
Oh, where's my calendar? I'll stop sharing my screen. New student moving. You're testing me now.
We're excited. You're getting us
Yes.
excited.
New student move-in will be Wednesday, August 26th. So Wednesday, August 26th is the new student move-in. You get to spend all morning going through our matriculation tent where you'll be able to meet the president. You shake the president's hand. You get connected to all sorts of resources. And at the end of the matriculation tent, you pick up your room key and your new one card, which I'm happy to talk about one cards if it's helpful. And then you will be able to spend a few hours moving in. There are some amazing returning students that are part of our orientation team that will actually help you move in. If you don't want to raise a finger and carry anything into the residence hall, our students have you covered. Um, and so you'll spend a few hours moving in, getting settled, and then for the next 4.5 days, you'll be in orientation where we have a lot of amazing things planned for you. The first day of class is that following Monday on the 31st. If you are a fall student athlete, you may be asked to move in early based on your. I see someone just asked. I got you, Nancy. If you are a fall student athlete, you may have an earlier move-in date based on your practice schedule. Your coach will communicate with you the first day of practice, and you will move in the day prior. And then you will participate in orientation as normal, but you won't have to do all of the move-in part of the 26th.
Great. There are some folks that are wondering about weight training rooms, gyms, equipment for students to use for their personal fitness goals. Are there any that are in the residence halls themselves, or do they have access to that through the gyms?
So they would have access to the gyms that we have on campus. If you haven't been to campus yet, everything is very close and within walking distance. One of our residence halls, an upperclassman one called Cared Hall, does have some gym equipment, but the majority of our students will go to Bristol Fieldhouse or Winsealy to do all of their workouts. There are some
Great.
fantastic fitness classes. I participated in yoga not too long ago. Highly recommend.
Question about parking. Can you talk about parking that allowed for first years, what that's like to get a parking pass?
So, first year students are permitted to bring cars to campus. There is a fee to receive a parking pass, and when you pick up your parking pass from Campus Safety, they will show you the designated parking lots for first year students. What is also beneficial is there is a shuttle that goes throughout campus. So, should you have to park in a lot that's not right next to your building, you can ride the shuttle to that location. But I also want to let people know that if you don't have a car as a first year student, I promise you it'll be okay. You will make so many friends, and somebody will have a car, and you will all be able to get to Walmart.
Is there kitchen access for all students?
So, not every one of our residence halls has a kitchen access. Um, in our first year residence halls, there is a kitchen so Jackson, Potter, and Reese are actually what the students call a mega dorm. It's three buildings that are attached by hallways. There is a kitchen in that mega dorm of Jackson, Potter, and Reese, and there is also a kitchen in Hershon. Our first year students are on our Finger Lakes meal plan, which is our unlimited meal plan for Saga, which is our main dining hall on campus. And then it also includes snack money for our other eateries. That unlimited meal plan means that you can go to Saga for the entire time that it is open every single day to be able to meet new students, eat with your friends. You will never go hungry. But if you are looking for and or need access to a kitchen, those are the two locations that are going to have them for first year students. When you go through housing selection for your upcoming years, if parents, if any of you are in the parent Facebook page, I know that I've been posting a lot about housing selection for our upperclassmen. We will let you know all of the amenities in the different halls, which ones have kitchens, which ones don't, etc.
Um, this student might have posted this question earlier when you addressed it, but just to reemphasize, it's worth clarifying for everyone. When do students receive their housing agreement, and how does that process begin?
So their housing agreement will be available um, we are prepped and ready for it to be available as early as next week. What will happen is you will receive information from admissions over the summer with all of your login information and a checklist of things you need to complete before you come to campus in August. One of those things that you need to complete is to log into your My Housing portal using your HWS login information and complete your new student housing application. Um, Pretty much as soon as you are admitted and accept and receive that login information, you will have access to be able to complete that housing application. As soon as you complete your housing application, you can start searching for or requesting roommates. And then mid-July is when you receive your housing assignment and your roommate assignment. So in mid-July, you will get an email sent to your HWS account, and in it will be the full name and email address of your roommate and your building and room number assignment.
Great. And just to clarify for students and families, from the admission standpoint, as soon as you formally accept your offer of admission and also submit the payment for a deposit confirming your acceptance and intention to enroll, that is when your admission portal then has all of those checklists of things that include housing and other things as well, signing up for your first year seminar. Great. Somebody did ask about the price to live in a residence hall, and do those prices vary?
Um, I can tell you what the current price is for on-campus housing. I don't want to quote incorrectly. So the standard room cost per semester as of this year is $4,821. So therefore, for the academic year, it's $9,642. Regardless of where you live on campus, whether it be a traditional residence hall, a theme house, or a suite. Whether you live in a double, triple, or single room, that rate is the same. The only price difference that we have is if you live in our Odell's Village, which are townhouses, your junior or senior year, there is a $600 increase. Just recognizing that those amenities are more independent and provide you with a little bit more.
Great. Um, Somebody had asked about things like putting hooks on the walls and what are the possibilities or restrictions for that?
So you are welcome to use the command strips with the sticky stuff on the back for hooks, sticky tack to put up pictures, but you are not permitted to put nails in the wall, thumbtacks in the wall, anything that's going to alter the wall itself, as you would need to pay for those to be fixed. But you are welcome to bring any of your 3M command strips, hooks, sticky tack, those sorts of things to hang on the wall. Bringing pictures from home, bringing posters is what really makes our rooms feel homey. One caveat is that we ask that the LED sticky strip lights, we ask that those stay home because they tear a lot of paint off the wall. And so we ask that we don't damage our walls with the sticky LED strips.
Um, which halls have the air conditioning?
So, air conditioning, we only have a few residence halls with central air, which are going to be Caird and De Cordova specifically. So, if students are in need of air conditioning for any sort of medical allergies, asthma, those sorts of things, there is a form on the HWS Disabilities website to fill out. Very quick process. You do need to be approved to bring an air conditioner, but once you have that approval, you're welcome to bring an air conditioner for your space, and B&G will actually install it for you so we know it's safe and secure.
Great. Somebody had asked, are they able to have dorm essentials shipped to the school closer to the move-in date?
Yes, and so that's one of the many things that you'll receive information about throughout the months of July and August. You are welcome to ship items for your residence hall straight to the post office on campus. They do ask that you send it within about 10 days of move-in, just recognizing that they only have so much space there. But you can ship it there, and on move-in day, the post office is open, and you can stop right there on the first floor of the Scandling Center, pick up whatever items you had shipped, and be able to unpack them right in your room.
That's great. Can you talk a little bit, Jenna, about this question I'm sure comes up or at least is on people's mind? Can you request to change roommates during the year if something doesn't work out, knowing that you and your staff and the deans take great care in matching folks, but what is that like?
Yeah, so we do strive to provide you with a really great roommate experience off the bat, but we recognize that not every pairing is going to be perfect, and that's okay. You're growing when you get here, your roommate's growing when you get here, and if it doesn't work out, there is a 2 week room freeze at the beginning of the semester. We recognize that it's new to be here. Perhaps it's the first time you're sharing a room and you're really nervous and anxious about the start of the semester. So, those first 2 weeks are for all of us to be able to kind of feel settled, work through conflict, be able to share that space. If after that time things aren't working out, we have a various set of support systems. We can help with a what we call a mediated conversation our CA or our other professional staff members could help you and your roommate talk through whatever your conflict might be if you're both trying to be interested in having it work out. If you're not interested in a mediated conversation, we have processes in place. Perhaps you've made a friend down the hall and you want to do a room swap. You want to locate to a different building. You just work directly with our office and we will work through all of those different requests.
Great. Couple little details. Just to emphasize, the fitness classes you mentioned are free.
Yes.
Um, and room keys, are they metal keys? Are they key
Ah,
cards?
yes. Oh, one of my favorite subjects. I love keys. So you will receive two items on move-in day and your last stop under the matriculation tent before you move in. So our rooms themselves are physical metal keys. They are keys that are set up that only you and your roommate have access to your room as long as you keep it locked. And then you will also receive a one card. That is what we call our personal ID cards here on campus. So, one of your tasks for over the summer is to submit a headshot that you want to use for your one card. So that way, when you move in, you get handed it. That one cart is built to grant you access to your residence hall. So the front door of all of our residence halls is key card access, kind of like a hotel room, where you will tap your one card to access your building. It is set up so it knows what building you specifically live in, so you have access to your building, but we reside safety for other people. You don't have access to all of the halls. And then you will use your key to access either your suite or your room, depending on where you live on campus. Now, I will tell you that it is very important that you keep those, as there is unfortunately a cost if we have to replace them. So keep your one card. Your one card also has your meal plan on it. It's also how you check books out of the library. It's how you swipe into the gym so you can go to the yoga class too. So it's really important. We actually will have we will have one card holders on lanyards that you can pick up on your move-in day so you have it accessible for you. It's also important that you carry your room key on you at all times, as that is what's keeping you and your roommate and your personal items safe. If you ever lose your key or lose your one card, you stop up to the Student Engagement Center where we are all located, and we'll make sure to either get you your new one card or your new room key.
Great.
It happens. I always I keep a tally during move-in and orientation to see how many students accidentally lose their key because they're not used to carrying it.
It's a fair point, for sure. Um, what is the dining experience like on campus, and how does the meal plan work on a day-to-day basis? Can you walk us through that a little bit?
Yeah. So there is one main eatery on campus, which is called Saga, which is um, a buffet style with a multitude of different stations. So there's always a salad bar and a sandwich bar and a pizza bar, but then they also have all sorts of other things that you can enjoy from all sorts of different countries. Taco Day is a huge one. Chicken Patty Day is a huge one. So there's always something for everybody. You can also get really creative and grab a few things from one bar, go to another bar, mix and match, whatever it is that you enjoy. Again, it's buffet style, so you can get as many plates as you would like. As a first year student, you would be on the Finger Lakes plan, which again gives you unlimited swipes to Saga. So you can go for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day and fill up there. There is also a grab and go option at Saga. So if you're rushing in between classes and sitting down isn't really what's going to be able to work for you, right at the front of Saga is a grab and go where they have an array of sandwiches, salads, chips, sides, drinks. Put it all in a bag and head on your way. We also have a set of other eateries on campus that are either open earlier for more of a breakfast or our late night eateries as well, where you can utilize snack money. That's also on your meal plan. So again, the Finger Lakes meal plan comes with $250 of snack money for the semester that you can go to places like the cafe, which is also in the Scandling Center, where they also have different menu items to pick from, as well as some of those more grab snacky sort of things. There is also ABP or Au Bon Pain, which is our coffee shop on campus where they have different coffees, sandwiches, etc. Finger Lakes Coffee Express, which is a hot commodity. Every time I walk past it, there is a line out the door because it's delicious, which is local coffee brewing, which is wonderful. And then we also have our Cellar Pub, where you have more of your pub type foods, your pizza, your hamburgers, chicken wings, those sorts of things. And so you get to kind of pick how you want to utilize that snack money. Some people know that every Tuesday they go and they get a sub from Sub Connection, and that's how they use their snack money. Other people stock up on every Celsius they could ever drink to maintain their high level of energy for all of their academics.
And just to emphasize, there are vegetarian or even vegan
There's
options.
vegetarian, vegan, there's also halal options. There is a um, clean eats section as well. We also have a nutritionist that's accessible for you if you want to have those kinds of conversations. And our director of dining, Michael Kishbau, is amazing. He will meet with any student and walk you through the dining hall and talk through the different options that'll work for you and your particular dietary needs.
Great. Somebody asked about instruments, considering bringing a keyboard. Is that something that can be shipped to campus?
Yes, anything that you want shipped to campus is welcome to be shipped here. Our post office is a fully working post office, so USPS, FedEx, and UPS all get delivered there. We started getting Amazon deliveries straight from Amazon, which means they've been coming faster. Those go straight to the post office as well.
Do we have different kinds of tea selection at Saga as well?
Tea and coffee, yes.
Okay, perfect.
There's also different types of tea and coffee at Finger Lakes Coffee Express.
Great. I think that is it, unless anyone else has another question. I believe I've gone through all of them. Terrific. Well, awesome. Well, thank you again so much, Jenna, for leading us in this conversation. You've given us a great overview as well as some good details about living on campus. For students and families on the call, just to emphasize that we do have some upcoming admitted student days, including this Saturday. We're really excited for some who are here and are going to be there. Jenna and I are both going to be there so we can carry on this conversation. There's lots of moments to be able to touch with other campus partners on other calls that you might have joined prior or plan to. We have other dates beyond this Saturday. That includes the 28th of March, April 11th, and April 18th for admitted student days. Thank you again so much. I really appreciate your attention. Thank you again, Jenna, and you all have a wonderful evening.